You're almost asleep. Your body has gone soft. Your thoughts have stopped making sense. You're right at the edge of it. And then your whole body kicks. One violent jolt, a leg snaps out. Your arms fly up, and you're awake again. Heart pounding, staring at the ceiling, slightly embarrassed, even though nobody saw. And for about half a second, before it happened, you were falling. Roughly 70% of people do this. Most of them have never once asked why. So here is what that kick actually is, and I'll warn you now, the strangest part isn't why your body does it. The strangest part is that the falling you felt never happened. Your brain invented it afterwards. Nobody is driving. To understand the kick, you have to understand that falling asleep is not one event. It's a handover. There's a part of your brainstem whose entire job is keeping you awake. Not awake as in alert, awake as in switched on. It holds your muscles at a low background tension all day long, so that when you're sitting in a chair, your head doesn't just drop onto your chest. When you fall asleep, that system has to stand down, and a second system, the one that runs sleep, has to take over. Here's the problem. These two systems are not one switch. They are two separate crews, working the same building on slightly different schedules. Most nights, the handover is smooth. You don't notice a thing. But some nights, for a few seconds, there is a gap. The wake crew has already clocked off. The sleep crew hasn't fully arrived. And for that moment, your motor system is sitting there with nobody actually driving it. That's when a stray signal gets through. Not a decision, not a dream, just noise in a system that briefly has no supervisor. And it comes out of you as one enormous, uncoordinated kick. Doctors call it a hypnic jerk or a sleep start. It is completely harmless. It is not a seizure, and it does not mean anything is wrong with you. But that's only half the story, because the kick doesn't explain the falling, the dream that arrives late. Think about what you actually felt. You weren't dreaming about a cliff. You weren't watching yourself trip. There was no story. There was just a sudden, physical certainty that you were dropping through space. And then the kick. That order feels obvious. You were falling, so your body caught itself. It's backwards. Your inner ear is the organ that detects falling. It's a set of tiny fluid-filled tubes, and when you accelerate downward, the fluid lags behind and tells your brain, "We are going down." But you were lying in bed, perfectly still, on a mattress. Your inner ear reported absolutely nothing, because absolutely nothing happened. So where did the falling come from? Here's the best explanation we have. The jerk happens first. Your body lurches violently, for no reason your sleeping brain can account for. And your brain, even half shut down, cannot tolerate an event with no cause. So it does what it does every second of your waking life. It reaches for the most likely story. A body suddenly lurching, muscles snapping tight, in the dark. What single explanation covers all of that? You were falling. So it writes that. Instantly. And it backdates it. It hands you the sensation of falling as though it came first, as though it were the cause, when really it is an explanation, generated after the fact, for something your brain could not understand. You didn't fall and then jerk. You jerked, and then your brain wrote a very short story about falling and quietly slid it into the past, which means that for 1 second, every few nights, you get to catch your own mind in the act of making something up. The tree. So why does the handover glitch at all? There is a hypothesis, and I want to be honest with you, it is a hypothesis, not a proven fact, and you should be suspicious of anyone who tells you otherwise. For most of the history of our lineage, our ancestors slept in trees. Think about what that means. A tree is a good place to sleep because the things that want to eat you are mostly on the ground. But a tree is also a terrible place to relax, because relaxing is exactly how you fall out of one. So the moment of falling asleep would have been the single most dangerous moment of the night. Your grip loosens, your weight shifts, your muscles let go. The idea is that a jolt at that exact moment is useful. It retightens everything. It wakes you just enough to check your position, adjust your grip, and settle again. Under that theory, the kick isn't a glitch at all. It is the last surviving line of a very old safety check, still running, in a body that now sleeps on a flat padded surface a couple of feet off the floor, in a room with a door. It's a satisfying story. Be careful with it. We can't test it. We can't watch an ancestor sleep. And plenty of animals that never lived in trees appear to twitch at sleep onset too. What we can say is this: your body performs an emergency correction for a danger that no longer exists. Whether that habit came down from the trees, we genuinely do not know. The border is stranger than you think. The kick is not the only odd thing that happens at the edge of sleep. That boundary is a busy and very badly policed place. Some people see a sudden flash of light as they drop off. Some hear a single loud bang that never happened, a door slamming in an empty room. Some watch faces and shapes drift past on the inside of their eyelids. Not quite dreams, because you are not quite asleep. And then there is the exact mirror image of the hypnic jerk. When you get down into dreaming sleep, your body paralyzes itself. It has to. That paralysis is the only thing stopping you from physically acting out your dreams. Usually it switches off before you wake up. Occasionally, it doesn't. You come back online, you can see the room, and you cannot move a single muscle. People call it sleep paralysis, and it is terrifying. But look at what those two things actually are. In the jerk, movement leaks into sleep. In the paralysis, sleep leaks into waking. Same border, same sloppy handover, just failing in opposite directions. Why yours are getting worse. Here's the part that is actually about your life. Hypnic jerks are not evenly spread. Some nights you get none. Some weeks you get them constantly. And the things that make them worse are not mysterious. Caffeine, late in the day. Stress. Hard exercise in the evening. A schedule that keeps sliding around. And the big one, not enough sleep. Sit with that for a second, because it is genuinely cruel. The more exhausted you are, the harder your brain slams into sleep. And the harder it slams, the messier the handover gets. So the nights you most desperately need to go under smoothly are exactly the nights your body is most likely to throw you back out. That's the modern version of this. Your ancestors got a safety kick because they were on a branch. You get one because you had a coffee at 4, slept 5 hours, and lay down with your jaw clenched. So the next time it happens, and it will, notice the order. The kick came first. The falling was fiction. And your brain served it to you so smoothly, so instantly, that you would have sworn you felt it first. That is not a bug in you. That is the ordinary job your brain does every waking second. Filling gaps, building causes, handing you a finished story with the seams hidden. You just happen to catch it working with the lights off. Which raises a question. If your brain will invent a fall you never took, in the half second before sleep, what exactly is it inventing all day while you are awake and paying attention? That's the next one.